All right, I am back from lunch. Let's see where we left off. So before lunch, I was trying to get this to create a new sidebar so that it would match what we have in the block editor. Um, Error loading adventures. Sure, there's going to be errors because there's no adventures. All right, failed to create a new adventure. So, okay, now we have the basic foundation that we need for building out our adventures. Let's do this. I was gonna do a little tweet that I'm working on Ludum Dare, and oops, it's X now. God, I hate. All right. Whatever. I don't care about tweeting about it. I was going to go tweet about it, but I just am going to go build something. Okay. So let me also classic looking at AMD processors too. All right. So then now what I need to do is I need to get this to where it can. Whoop, is this taking that? Why was it taking so long? Oh, it's because this thing is completely. All right. I need you to re-implement the editor in the adventure editor. Can you start with a default implementation of Blockly, and we'll modify it from there. All right. I don't know if it's going to actually figure this out correctly, but I think something is happening here where there's something happening here where it's using an old version of Blockly that I had in this project, and what I think is happening is I need this to let me get out of this page because this page is just locking everything up because this editor is in a loop, and I think what's going to wind up happening is I'm going to see if it can implement this. Yeah, see, look at this. Look at what's happening here. Yeah, exit the page. I don't care. We'll just re-implement it from scratch. If I have to, I'll go in and I'll just build it by hand. All right. I really am curious where. Actually, let me go to my implementation here. I want to see. I'm really curious where it's getting this editor from because I might want to actually delete it. Where's the search? All right, this is the block editor. Is loading. Simple Blockly workspace. Simple Blockly workspace component optimized for block previews. See, this is the problem. It's using this one that's for the block previews, and it's not actually building. It's not using the one that. Let me see. Where is Reveal and Explore? It's not actually using the one that it should be. All right, here I've re-implemented it. All right, perfect. Wait. Why? Let's take a look at the console log. I have a feeling it's just outputting a shit ton of errors. Yeah. Let's do this. Let's go back to adventures. Let's clear this. Let's create a new adventure, and then let's go back here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to feed all this console log stuff. Jesus. Oh my god, how does it... Wait, did it clear? Adventures, clear. You mean it generated out all this stuff in that short amount of time? Wow, that's crazy. Huh. Wait, what is going on here? Adventures, fetching, errors, fine. Okay, all right. I need you to decouple the adventure Blockly editor from the block editor. They should behave differently. Let me make sure it didn't break this block stuff. All right, it didn't break this. The adventure one isn't loading correctly and is erroring out and resetting itself. All right, let's just feed it some of this stuff and see what it thinks about this stuff. I'm just looking through some of these logs to see what these issues are. Adventure editor sidebar. Yeah, it's so weird. It just decides that it's going to continually just refresh like that. All right, come on, lovable. Like, what are you doing here? The error message is clear that there's a maximum depth exceeding error happening in the adventure editor. This suggests that there is an infinite loop state. Updates happening, likely the use effect during the running. Let's create a separate implementation for the adventure editor that doesn't share these issues. Yeah, exactly. It's so you should have done it from the beginning. I think it's still doing its thing. I'm just testing this out to see this still works correctly. Yep. All right, what's going on here? Are we building? I also got distracted. Somebody posted, I guess there's a new trailer for Tron. Sure, whatever. Let's see. All right, did this actually do something? All right, it says it decoupled it. Let me see if this actually did anything. Well, you decoupled it, that's for sure. Nothing's working. All right, where are we now with this? Come on, Lovable, get your shit together. All right, I think well, I want to see this works. The next thing I want to start doing is fleshing out more of these blocks, and I might start a new chat for this. Let's see, what did I have? I have this linking room blocks, dashboard refactor guide. Let's just delete this. We don't need this chat anymore. Let's make a new chat, and I need your help fleshing out the block types I would need for my text adventure editor that uses Blockly to build each room of the text adventure visually. All right, we'll come back to that in a second. Oh, we're still doing this shit, huh? Why is this so broken? Cleaning up Blockly Adventure. Why does it keep doing this? let's see if we can get some more of this into the copy. I'm still getting spammed by console log. That the adventure editor keeps reloading until it throws a max depth exceeded update. I want you to implement a simple version of this Blockly editor in isolation from anything else in the code base so we can verify that Blockly actually works in the adventure editor. All right, let's see if we can get it to fix its thing there. And then I'm going to come back in here and I want to start fleshing out some of this this stuff. Where did I have my in my docs? Yeah, let's open up this, and what we're going to do is I want to pull some of this stuff in. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed this over to ChatGPT, and I want it to give me a sense of what it thinks about this. Yeah, let's copy the raw file. Here is the code from an old game, and I want you to pull out all of the pieces that are being used to build the world and the game. All right, let's have ChatGPT working here. Let's go back and check in with Lovable to see why it's being stupid today. All right, wait for this to refresh. And ChatGPT is going through and doing its thing. Room block, start room, end room, block types, item definition, define an item name, description, examine text, take text, use text, interaction blocks, terminal, place a terminal with readable text, take item, use item, examine item, room decor blocks, generic description, choose a room description from predefined text, custom descriptions, enter unique room, navigation blocks, direction / connection, sure, directional messages, automatically generate messages describing available. I don't need to do that. That'll just be part of the built-in thing. Oh my God, why can't you get this right? Cleaning up. Hold on. I gotta see where this code is. I can't deal with this anymore. It's Lovable is just on one of its benders where it just wants to get fetch, where it just wants to like continually just do the same error and over again, and all it just winds up doing is just eating my credits and annoys me. So I'm going to jump in and take a look at what the hell it's trying to do here. Not like I know any better, but maybe I can figure out something. I want to do a git pull all. Oops, let me put in the right password. Okay. So now this thing is going to be doing the same crap. let's see here. All right, stop. I want to see this. Where is the cleaning up adventure Blockly workspace tag being generated? Copy. Nope, don't do that. The adventure Blockly workspace. Let me see if I can have, ironically enough, let me see if I can get ChatGPT to step in on this one. Can you tell me why this implementation of Blockly continues to throw warnings in the console, not actually load or let me interact with it? All right, let's see what ChatGPT has to say about this, because there's definitely, usually it throws warnings and fails to load, probably because you're repeatedly creating and disposing of Blockly workspaces due to improper dependency management. Change the useEffect hook dependency array to an empty array. Ugh, see, this is where I get so annoyed. Like, this is basic stuff that Blockly should have figured out, or that Lovable should have figured out. Are there two useEffect things? Which useEffect? Change the first useEffect. Okay, fine. This is the first one. All right, so what we need to do is just trying to get a sense of, okay, here, why don't we do this? We're going to delete this. I don't think this was it. It's this one up here. Wait. Hold on. Show me the full modified code. All right, let's see if we can get it to show us the modified code at least. And then I also wanted to look at this and see if there's a better way of simplifying these changes. All right, so this is the adventure block workspace. We'll save this. Let's go here and community adventure. All right, well, we got that fixed. Dude, what did it do here? It removed the, God, Lovable, you are just the worst sometimes. I want to go back in Lovable because it's, well, all right, wait, all right, I'll think through this in a minute. What I actually want to do is I want to get this running, but there's an older version that I wanted to see if it can actually fix it. Reuse sidebar, improve the adventure layout, resolve block loading and toolbox issues. Let's see. Refactor, use sidebar to the adventure editor. Adventures, create new block. Cool. Nothing works there. That's good. Let's fix this. Logic and input. Okay, let's restore to this version for a second. And I'm going to give it a fix for, I'm going to give it a fix for this thing. So restore to an earlier version. Let's exit. And it's now telling me, I want you to, can you give me a detailed description on how this had to be fixed? All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to specifically tell it how to fix this, and we're going to go back to this version. I need you to refactor the adventure editor without changing any other logic. Here is the instructions for the fix. All right. Now where are we going to go from here? The other thing that I wanted to see was in the, let's see, in this block editor, let me inspect the source. Whoops, I didn't want to do that. Does this have a, does this have anything here that I can use to find? I want to know what this editor is. Actually, no, I think I know where this editor is anyways. It's in here somewhere. There should be like a simple block. Okay. Let me see if this has some fixes. Is there a better way to implement this editor too? It needs to refresh when there is a change, but it resets everything. All right, let's see. Back to Lovable. Let's see if it fixed this thing. Adventure. Create new adventure. All right, so now the flyout model is not working, but it's not spamming it. So, okay. So let's do this now. Okay. So now, well, let's refactor this into smaller pieces, and then we'll come back and tweak it. The next thing that I wanted to do is that now I want you to implement the adventure editor. Now I want you to implement the adventure editor's toolbox, and the requirement is that it always loads any public block regardless of the creator being rather the creator, so that every user is able to access those public blocks in the editor in order to fix these, whoops, I cannot type today, these issues. All right, let's wait for this write adventure editor thing to work, and I'm going to go space off somewhere else. All right, let's see here. What is this? Refactor simple adventure Blockly workspace. I don't want to touch that just yet. Let's see now. This should pop up. Great. Blockly. Here, I can close this. Blocks. All right, this editor is working. All right, let's do this. It wants to refactor this. I'll let it refactor this too, because I do want to get this to a place where it starts cleaning up the code a little bit better. So when I jump in, I'm not dealing with these like gigantic classes. Oh God, I'm already tired. Well, I got about, what is it? Almost 1, 2, 2 to 3. At about 2.5 more hours, I'll do the stream and see how far we can get before I have to do my taxes. And then we'll see how much energy I have tonight to continue on. But I think I'm already in a good space. If I can just get it to where we can display the public blocks in the editor, get it to where we can create an adventure, drop in some blocks, save and reload them, then we would have all the pieces needed for the foundation of this of the text adventure game maker. It is boring watching or waiting for an AI to do your work for you. I have a feeling I'm going to be a lot more hands-on, although it's been forever since I've used TypeScript. Although it won't be too hard to figure out, especially when I'll just keep bouncing between ChatGPT and this. Let's restart this and just make sure real quick before we go anywhere and do anything that these blocks are still working. Whoa, what the hell happened here? Is that new? Why is it doing that? Do not hide or remove the block editor's sidebar when selecting a block. Restore that functionality. And then in adventures, if we go here, there's nothing to, we can't create anything, we can't do anything. And then this next prompt will be the prompt we use in order for it to, load the blocks in. I think they're saying it has to be done on the database, if I remember correctly, but let's see. Fix the database permissions if needed. So any user can load any block, any public block, regardless of the creator. All right. Let's see here. Blocks. There we go. Okay. God, I hate when it like deletes shit like that. Okay. Let's have it now focus on this. I'm just going to jump back over to. Oh my God, something's in my eye and I can't get it out. All right. Let's take a look now at what ChatGPT was working on. Oh, I need to give it the code. Wait, did it just like lose my entire? Cool. Like, all this stuff just sucks. Like, all breaks. It doesn't work. And the most frustrating part is that we're so close. Like, some of this stuff is actually really useful, and these AI tools actually, when they work, they're brilliant. But the question is when they work. All right, let's fix the issues of the Adventure Editor sandbox to ensure all public blocks are accessible. Is there a way to, let's see, is there a way to create, is there a way to, how would you clean this up? Because my current implementation reloads the editor when there is a change and it loses state. Let's see if it has any thoughts on how to clean up that class. And I'll come back over here and let's see what it's doing. It hasn't deployed itself yet. And let me see in our database. So in our database, we should have, right, okay, these are all the block versions, great. We have adventure versions, adventure upvotes, and we have definitions. The adventure definitions should have an ID, user ID, version, is public, is deleted, upvoted, created at, and updated at. Fine. The adventure upvotes, I have to look into the adventure upvote thing. But then the adventure versions should have all the real stuff. So this is the prompt editor, ID, title, the content, version is latest, created by, forked from, created at, and blah, 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 blah. All right. All right, so at least we're going to be able to reuse a lot of the database stuff. Come on, let's get this guy loading. Let's see what ChatGPT was saying. You're initializing the whole workspace on every prop change, which causes you to lose the fix. Move the workspace initialization to run once the mount with. Let me know when that works, and I'll give you. How about this? Give me all the. Show me the full code. Let me see if I can just, maybe I can copy and paste it myself, and I'll just test it locally once I verify that these changes have actually taken place. These changes ensure that you can access. Okay, let's go in here. Yeah. God, you're just not good today. There we go. Okay, there's the error. Just try to fix this error. Do something useful with yourself. Let me see if I can just pull down all the changes. Actually, what I need to do is wait. Git reset hard. And then I want to do git fetch. Git pull all. All right, and this should reload all this stuff. And does this one also have the issue where it's constantly performance console? Yeah, all right. I'm going to come back. Well, let me see here. I needed to. This was the. What was it? There should be a simple block editor or something. Editor, admin actions, editor settings. There's a simple editor. Okay. I want to see if we can replace the code with all this. That's scary. Usually when it goes from like 155 lines to 115 lines, it means something is going to break. But let's give it a try. Okay. So it didn't really fix anything. That's fine. ChatGPT isn't going to eat all my lovable credits, so we'll work on two different problems at the same time. When I make edits, I get these errors now, and it doesn't center the block anymore, or restore it to its previous position when I move and make a change. All right, we still got this bug to fix. All right, keep fixing this shit. Ah, left my kitchen light on. Let me go turn that off. Yeah. Get my standing desk working. It's supposed to be a rainy day in New York. I haven't even been outside. Yes, this is going to continue raining in 20 minutes. I don't even know what the weather is. Let's see here. So, is this actually going to work? Well, while we wait for it, we'll see. The error means you're calling the workspace like on a before centering move the block. Check the workspace is not read only and workspace. Or if you need interactivity in preview mode, skip centering altogether. I want it to start centered if the user moves it there when a change triggers the refresh, it should restore its previous position. Right, you go figure that out. And then here, I want to know why block. Oh, I'm on this one. Adventure. Dude, what are you doing? Why is everything just utterly broken? Looking at these errors, I can see what's happening. It's certain types of the adventure text file. Right, the entire adventure editor is broken. I don't see the sidebar, the input fields, buttons, or the editor. If there are some errors, sometimes it should, yeah, okay, here we go. and I'm seeing these errors. All right, let's see if this can fix that, and then let me go bounce back to here. Step 1, track scroll position before refresh. Add this before disposing the old workspace. Store those in a ref. Update it like this before disposal. Confirm the part works, and I'll give you... Is there a way of updating the block definition in the editor without reinstantiating the entire editor? Yes, you can update the block definition by reloading the entire workspace. These use block to redefine your block, then use block leaving, refresh toolbox selection or the workspace. Manually update the existing block if needed. Field structure change to re-render XML, but if only visual fields change, this works without reinitializing. They're dynamic based on an editor. Block. All right, let me give this screenshot over to ChatGPT. And let me go back to Lovable and let's see what it's doing. Dude. Everything is just broken. What is it doing? Like, why is it, like, changing around all the UI and everything? Like, oh, God. I hate, like, when it goes off the rails, it's just impossible to, like, not lose your shit and just get frustrated at it, especially knowing that, like, every time it fails, I'm paying for it. Did all the existing blocks of that type, and can you give me the full working code? God, I feel like Lovable is just... Oh no, it's writing stuff. Saving changes. It edited all these files. Wonder if any of this stuff is good. Alright, it says it fixed it. I don't believe it. Yeah, no. You didn't do anything. Damn it, man. Ah, God. You have not fixed anything. The whole page layout is completely wrong. The sidebar should be the same as the block editor, and the editor area should be next to the sidebar. This was working before you messed it all up. I want it back to how it should be. It doesn't even know what should be means, but it's fine. All right. Add this function. Wait. I want you to modify this full code with the changes. Simple block the workspace tsx. I'm going to revert this to this so that at least I know that this works. And if I need more code in other places, tell me explicitly, explicitly, where. Do. Basically, the adventure editor page dimension layout shown in your screenshot. No. Let me restore the correct layout with the sidebar on the left side. Please don't do that. Ugh, now it thinks the screenshot I gave it to show that it was broken. It now thinks that's what it needs to make it, but it's fine. We'll give it one more round before I have to go back and... It's fine. We'll just keep working on this part of the code. Wherever you're editing block settings from the outside, let's see if there's a place where this is actually being called or if it's just making this up. Wait, what does it want me to do here? How to use refresh round. So whenever you're editing blocks settings inside your block editor logic call, let me know if you want this hooked directly into a callback or a form. That I don't know. So weird that it like does that, but alright. I'll have to figure out where that refresh is. Let's go back to Lovable. Come on, please, for the love of God. Just... It did nothing. It didn't... all it did was just make even more of a hot mess. Fix the adventure type errors. Wait, is it reloading? Please. No. This is garbage. This is garbage, you're garbage, and I'm losing my patience. So let's see. Okay, adventure, edit system errors for the presets. I get the error below, please. Think step by step how to solve it. Wrap sidebar components with for the code. Trying to go back and figure out what my last thing was for this. I think there's a place where I was telling it what to do. The entire adventure block is broken. Yeah, not a helpful prompt. Oh, God, where did it go? I feel like there's like a place where I reverted and then started back up again. But it's not showing me this in the history. Oh my god. Well, luckily no one's watching this stream because I can just be frustrated on my own. So using the adventure code editor. Let me go back to the history and see what the history was. Restore block editor sidebar functionality. Load public blocks. All right, let's go back to this version. And all right, fine. We can go back to, let's restore this version. And we'll exit this editor. I'm going to try real quick to see if it could just implement. All right. I want you to update the simple block editor with the following. All right, let's see if maybe it can take some of ChatGPT's edits, and then we'll go back and deal with some other stuff. I'm not convinced this is actually going to work. I don't think ChatGPT understands what I'm trying to do either. It's that time in the day in the game jam where you just start getting frustrated and annoyed and worried that you're not going to be able to get anything done in time. All right, I might have to take a break in a little bit and deal with some tax stuff since I got to do my taxes today. Let's just get this one last thing going, then I'll take a little break and I'll come back and stream again. Has it finished this? All right. Let's see if this, why does it reset? When it updates, it's not centered or retaining its last position. One thing I'm actually curious about is are all the traces gone at least? Console. So now if a change happens, it just does the change once, and great. Tried to move a non-movable workspace. This could result in blocks becoming a set of traces. Issues the scroll restore code runs before the drawing. We need to delay it until. Oh wait, cool. There was an error here. So let's have it fix whatever this type issue is, and then I'll go back and figure this out. Guess while I'll just wait for it to finish doing its thing, I will work on my the stuff I need to do for my taxes. Just do my taxes and off screen. Eight. All right, let's see. I don't think this is going to fix that issue. Oh, wait. All right, so now let's go back and the block editor. All right, let's see if we can fix this. And I'll go back to my taxes. Where? Um, I got to download all these forms and stuff. Oh, I hate when it does it with this. When it generates out a PDF and it doesn't give you the. Right. I think Lovable may be done, so I just got to save 2 more forms, and then I will take a look at what it has done. Nothing like building a game and doing your taxes at the same time. I guess that counts as multitasking. All right. Actually, I do one more thing, and then I'll come back to it. It doesn't seem like anyone's watching today, so this is my tax day and my Ludum Dare day. All right, let's see. What garbage did you create for me here? All right, so let's see here. Let's get the raw. Let's see here. Lovable made these changes, but I'm still not seeing the block load center when it loads. All right, let's go. Oh no, shoot! I didn't want to do that. I got too excited and hit return already. Let's copy all this code over, give it to ChatGPT, and then I'll come back and give it another try. Send that to you, and then you're almost there, but the issue is that Blockly doesn't automatically center blocks, and restoring scrolling manually doesn't help unless you've moved it before. Supposedly sent to the block if it's newly loaded. Update the. All right, let's see if I can get. We'll have Lovable work on that, and then I'm going to go back to my taxes. I only got a couple of things I need to do on my taxes, so it's not that bad. I just got a message from my accountant that I need to finish sending over some stuff. I wonder how other people are doing. I haven't really checked Twitter in a while. I don't know. Like, one, I just don't want to be on it, and two, it's like even when I do post on it, it's like a ghost town now. And I'm trying to rebuild my followers on. Trying to rebuild my followers on Blue Sky, but it doesn't seem to be that active too. All right, let me see. You're still working on this? Okay. Let it continue to work on this. I wonder if like the sweet spot between all this AI stuff is if I use something like Lovable for big broad strokes, use ChatGPT for I don't know what the hell. I really want to stop using ChatGPT, and then I implement one of those. I was working on one of those plugins in Visual Studio Code that like will do the do coding for you and a refactor and do things. I wonder if that would be a little bit more helpful here. Oh my god, why does it keep like keeps like snapping back? I don't think it fixed this problem. I would just be happy if it. Huh. Yeah, I don't know what is going on here. Still not working. What were the changes that it did? Let me see if I can just give it the raw code and if it just knows what to do with this stuff instead of me having to give it the file name. All right. It's fine. I'll just go back to my taxes. Probably shouldn't have had such a big lunch because I'm so tired. Is there like a such thing as a Ludum Dare nap? Let me see what ChatGPT had to say for itself. These are difficult, super helpful. The code issue is right in your console logs. Tried to move. This means you're trying to center a block or scroll, but your workspace is set to read-only, and read-only workspaces don't support scrolling or centering. Change this block of code to this instead. Do this everywhere you call. Even in timeouts. Why it matters. Really true. Disables movement. Center on block. Throws errors unless movement is enabled. This is why you see nothing happening. Why the errors are being thrown. Let me know if you want it to auto toggle read only to false temporarily just for centering. That's a workaround if you want to center. What happens if I just keep it in edit mode? What's going on here? If you keep it in edit mode, you can scroll, drag, drop, zoom, call center on without errors. The blocks will load centered correctly. You won't get but users will be able to edit the blocks, move, delete. If you want it locked but still centered, use the edit. I want it to be read only, so give me the hybrid approach. I'm going to try to pull this down to my local dev and just do it there instead of having Lovable do it. It's not git hard git fetch all. Let's see if I can get this. Git pull all. All right. And update your workload config during injection with activating the block and centering and set timeout. So you were talking about this code, and can you show me the full updates? All right, let's see if we can get this working a little bit better. Well, I figured, oh, here we go. Let's see what it came back with. The full code. I might have to take a break, though, to finish my stupid taxes. Which I don't want to do. Is this still throwing that error? Console. Let's... Yeah, it still didn't fix anything. Copy. Didn't fix anything. Let's see, what was the other thing I needed to do? Now I'm like distracted with my taxes. Where's my, is there actually a config here? Is this the only config? After centering, disable the interactivity manually. Wait, I don't get this. Update this. I don't know where the other code should go. Let's see what it had to say for itself. Paste this down. Let's close this out. And let's refresh this page and see if this works. Cool. You do not work at all. Should be a simple way to do this. I don't know why this is so. This is my problem. I'm like stuck on some like a little bit of UX stuff, and I want it to look right, and it really is pointless. Moving XML, instead of trying to scroll to the center of the workspace, force the block position manually to 0 before rendering it. Replace this block inside here. Show me the full code. Let's see if this will work. It centers it, and then it snaps to the top left. Can you simplify this and just place it down without all the other position, so we can test that part works? Give me the full code. All right. I'm going to take a quick little break. I'm just going to stay on the stream, but I'll just be right back. I'm going to finish up some of this tax stuff I need to do real quick, and then I will get back at the coding because I'm completely distracted, and this is not a fun thing to watch or do. So I will be back. All right, I'm back. Let's get into this. I just did, whoops, wrong screen. I just did the taxes stuff, so now I can focus on this. And I really want to understand why it's, oh my God, I can't get my chair back into my office. There we go. Let me close out these other windows so I'm not distracted. And let's see. All right. Oi, oi. Let's get this party going. When I left off, I was... What was I doing? I was just trying to get this stuff to center correctly. I was going down this rabbit hole, and all right, so absolutely, here's a clean version of it. Like, so so right now I'm just trying to fix a little stupid bug that it's driving me nuts, but it really isn't a big deal. Wait, why does it still do this? I don't understand this shit. If I take this out, will this thing crash? Okay, well, that's part of the problem, isn't it? This isn't even being used anymore. What is Lovable using? Simple Blockly workspace. Block editor. Oh, wow, look at you. I've been editing this whole thing, and there's nothing in here to actually edit. No wonder nothing was working. I'm like going nuts here. Reveal unique file explorer. Let's get rid of you. Delete permanently. And now in the block editor preview, simple. Where was this thing? Adventure editor, block editor. All right, I think I actually was using that. Whoops. Oops, my bad. Git reset hard. Sure. All right. How do I just make? Let's copy this and see if this. Where's the simple block editor? And we'll just force reload this. Still not working. Just enable the editor and let me see work normal. All right, let's see if ChatGPT can just fix this one little annoyance problem. Just make it work version. Cute. I don't understand what is. I gotta look through this and see. There's gotta be something in here that's. Block editor preview. Could this be causing a problem? I don't think anything's actually using this simple block. Rename. Wait, let me look at it here. No, wait, that's simple block. the block preview content. Yes, this is going to absolutely be causing the issue. Let me do this. This is the simple block workspace. I don't think this is being used anywhere. It might just be imported. Wait, it's going to throw an error. Let me see if I can figure out what is actually trying to load it. Whoops, console. Block preview content. Block preview content. Oops. All right, so that fixed one problem. Okay, so I want you to help me refactor both classes. I just disabled the simple Blockly workspace and want you to re-implement it to work with the block preview content. All right, this is going to be the block preview content, and this is, I'll just give it the commented out stuff. It should be able to figure that part out. Simple Blockly workspace. All right. Let's update this simple Blockly workspace. All right, so that is you, and copy this, and this is you. And now let's hard refresh this. All right. I am still seeing it snap. It try to snap to the middle and then goes off screen. Simplify all of this so I can just get a basic preview working. I wonder if there's anything else in here that is also tied to. Oh wait, what about this? Wait, hold on a second. Oh, it doesn't need all this. It already has the class names in here anyways. I forgot TypeScript has classes. All right, let's see what it has to say for itself. Perfect. This gives the full context and confirms what's happening. What's wrong? Block preview wrapper registers a block and triggers the re-render. Block preview passes the new XML on every render. The workspace is fully initialized every time because of this key. here's how to fix this. Update the block preview content. I'll let it finish writing its code out. All right, are we done here? This is the block preview context, or content. Is it content? Yep, okay. Then the simple Blockly workspace. All right. And it should be this. And now let's restart. And it looks like it's giving me an error now, console. I'm going to cause this error. Blockly preview. Blockly preview. The Blockly. What am I looking for here? Export. No. I'm not doing that. Block preview. No. This is the block preview placeholder. I screwed this all up. No. You want to keep them separate. Move the block placer to its final code. And then import it like this. Fine. What was this file? This was the simple Blockly workspace. And this was the block preview context. Block preview placeholder. Wait, why are there two? What is going on here? Why do we have two block preview context placeholder? Fine. All right. Can you reload now without crapping out? Block preview placeholder. Block preview placeholder. Wait, what? Make sure it looks exact. Wait. Go to make sure it looks exactly like this. Dude, like, why is this so shitty? Let's see if this will make a change. No, it doesn't change anything. I'm really confused. It's still not working. A block appears, then goes off screen. Why can't this be simplified so it works? Making this simple, but it doesn't, especially when trying to render one block on a consistent spot without weird snapping, zooming, or recentering. Let's fix this once and for all, in the most brutally minimal way possible. Brutally minimal way possible. All right. Your simple Blockly workspace. All right. Now in the block preview content, block preview content, what about this? Okay, now it's not dating when I make changes. Can you add that back in without messing up any of the position? Let me double check this block here. Oh, cool. It doesn't even like reload that thing at all, huh? Jesus. All right, what am I supposed to be editing here? This is the simple Blockly workspace. No more. The block preview no longer updates after first initialization. It's changing properties or blocks doesn't change it. I want that code back in. We'll bring back in the auto update logic from the block preview wrapper use effect without re-breaking the position. All right, so now this goes back into the simple block editor. And this goes back into the block preview wrapper. Wait. This is the full wrapper code. What should change? Change this line to true. Oh, I already have this. Still not working. Clean up use effect. So show me the full code. Like I don't care about all these like little things. Like I'm asking you for the full code so we can just move on my life. Like this is the thing I do not want to be sitting here bottlenecked on, is just centering the block preview. It's just a pet peeve of mine. Is there like an error or something in here that I'm missing? Still not changing the preview at all. Make sure the generate block XML reflects the updated block. In the basic preview content, basic preview, where's your basic preview? Block preview content. Block preview content should be you. And now in the simple Blockly workspace, it's you. Ah, bless you to me. Final sanity check. All right. Should this be updated? Oh, I'm in such a rat hole right now. Trying to figure out why the block preview is not working correctly. Block preview content. Just having one AI help fix another AI at the moment. Also, update the block preview wrapper. Block preview, wait. Block preview content. Block preview content. Passive fields. Block preview wrapper. let's see if this will work. And I actually want to get on to like, yes, this is exactly what you want now. Now, blah, blah, blah. Confirm that the final flow is working. You should follow the previous steps. It gives me this fucking party emoji. Like, give me a break. All right, let's refresh this real quick. Yeah, it works great, dude. Like, nothing's even showing. Oh, wait, there we go. Now it's back to disappearing off screen. I'm about to revert. I don't care about this anymore. Make sure generate blocks always has X, Y. All right, try this yet again. Generate block XML. Generate block XML. And ensure that the simple workspace does not reset the position. Simple blockly workspace. I hate when it doesn't give me the full code. It's like no matter what I tell it, it just decides to do its own thing. Always show me the full code. How to update. Ugh. What is going on? Still not working, and there appears to be an issue with the block not recentering unless to view unless I resize the window. When you load or update the external block, it does not automatically resize its internal canvas, so the rendering is off screen. Update your full updated code final fix. For what? What? Fine. All right. Jesus, the emojis, man. The emojis that it adds in is just terrible. All right. Okay, I don't care anymore. I'm just going to revert back. I just don't have the patience for this. Fixed delay scroll restoration. Resolve Blockly type and names. Oh, I don't want to no, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's go back in time and find a time where this wasn't so shitty. Resolve Blockly type and namespace errors. Add dynamic block update functionality. Restore adventure layout. Add dynamic block update functionality. This is a problem. Community blocks. Yeah, that's not what I want. Community blocks. Fine. Okay, whatever. Let's restore to this version. And now what we're going to do is go focus on the actual stuff I need to be doing right now instead of this stuff that's distracting me. All right, exit. Oh my God, like why does it, wait, no, how did this go back to this crap? Oh, man. Okay. At what point did it decide to crap out and just break the sidebar and revert to it, even though we were doing it the way that I told it to do it? I think I know what the problem was. I think when I went to revert, I needed to wrap sidebar restore, block editor, sidebar functionality. I needed to restore from this point and then move forward. So let's restore from here. We'll exit this. Let's restart this and see if it still throws that error that we just got. Adventure, create a new adventure. And now I want to, let's do this. I want to wire up. Well, how about this? I want you to remove the Blockly editor for now so we can focus on creating, loading, and editing new adventures. This should work to how the block editor works. When you go to editor, if nothing is selected, show instructions on what to do. All right, I didn't specify where to remove the editor from, but I think what we'll do is I have to stop at around like 3:30, 3:45-ish, so I can go do my taxes, and then I'll come back and we'll sort of streamline this. But I think I just got to figure out how to push through. This is like a very similar place where I was failing with Lovable before, and it's just frustrating because it implemented it once correctly, and then I never got it to work again. always concerns me when it's writing so much code. We're going to see what other people are working on. All right. So we removed the Blockly editor components, and good. Okay. So why is it still giving me these errors for? All right. I want you to fix the error with it saying it can't load a prompt. There is nothing to load right now. Right, looking at the error message in the console, I can see why we're experiencing an issue with the editor. The editor is, and this is having because the code is trying to access properties of a non-existent table in the database. Let's fix this by creating the database table. Wait, the database exists. Adventure definitions. Let's see what it does here. It's weird that it's trying to create a table that already exists, but we'll give it its moment. All right, come on. Now that it's been updated per columns for adventure, let's fix the adventure editor properly to create, load, and edit adventures, and let's see what it did here. Did it actually? I mean, the database existed before, so I don't know why it had to do that. All right, the adventure editor has been updated. Oops. All right, let's restart this and let's see what is going on here. I hate that like flicker that it does. Plus new. Oh my God, what are you doing? Why do you have? Why is there like multiple plus? Delete. Adventure was permanently deleted. All right. Once it's permanently deleted, I can't do anything out. It locks up the whole UI. All right. New adventure. That's weird. Why does it call it Untitled Adventure and then it made it New Adventure? All right. Let's make it public. Move to public. Let's make it private. Move to private. Let's delete it. Go to trash. Empty trash. Done. All right. So now, why the hell? Why is it breaking everything? Ugh. Let me check the database and see what the hell it's doing. All right, the definitions, the update, the versions. Definition. Version ID. Title. Workspace XML. No. You're doing this wrong. You're doing this all wrong. No, you are doing this wrong. The adventures should have a base definition with the core columns, and then all the data for the adventure is in the version table. This should work exactly like the block. All right, let's see if I can fix this table now because it just screwed up everything, which I knew it was going to do because I really didn't give it a solid set of instructions. All right, policies. If they replace function, please do this. Sure, I approve it. I don't know. Right, Klein was the plugin. let's try Klein again and see if I can get something a little bit more intelligent to help here. LM Studio, DeepSeek Coder. Oh, look at that. All right, maybe it's already configured. DeepSeek, oh, I guess it's still remembering my local dev stuff. All right. Let's see if Lovable has made more of a mess for me. Update. Well, let me let it finish its thing and then we'll delete this and start over again. Because now I've been updated to work with version system Adventure, similar to how the blocks work. The Adventure editor now properly fetches and saves Adventure data using the Adventure definitions and Adventure. Creating new versions when saving changes. All right, remove the columns. Oh, yeah. Remove the columns we no longer need in the Adventure definitions table. I want you to delete, we don't need title, description, and workspace XML. Title, description, workspace XML. That should all be in the Adventure version. It's amazing. It just like randomly builds shit. Like it has no, like it just, I swear to God, if it broke anything in here, I will like kill it. All right. I don't know. Somehow it like is building this out a little bit better, but well, I mean, it's finally, it added a version of this. Oh my God, wait, let me see if this actually will let me save. Test. Yeah, failed to save. It's going to fail to save because this is garbage. Let's delete this row. Update. Okay, perfect. Let's go back here and showing the Adventure version table. All right. Let's have it pull this out now, and then what we're going to do is go back in and make sure we can rewire up the block editor. Let me do this. Let's do clear git reset hard. Whoops. Git fetch all, git pull all, and let's see if we can get this restoring locally. All right, and let's see if Lovable has figured out what it needs to do for the database for me. Yeah, approve those changes, and then we're going to go back over to here, and what I wanted to see was let's give Klein a task and see what it can do for us. And we're going to use the DeepSeek. Is it still, whoops. Is LM Studio still running with DeepSeek? I guess it is still, maybe it's still loaded, I don't know. Anyways, I'm just trying to mess around. I'm trying to get a workflow going where I can at least jump in, fix code where I need to, have an AI do stuff in the background for me, and then also have a little bit more contextual assistance while I'm inside messing around with this code. And I want to see the SQL language. Now the adventure system follows the same pattern as the block system with a clean separation. Cool. You mean it does exactly what I told you I wanted it to do? Okay. So let's go to adventure. Let's create a new adventure. Error loading adventures. Why? Copy. Why am I still getting these errors when there is nothing to load on the main adventure editor page? I want the block editor preview to center the block on the first load. Then, if it's been moved and a change happens, put it back at the previous position when reloading. All right, let's see if Klein can do anything here for me. I have a feeling it's not going to work because I don't think I have LM Studio actually running anything right now. Yeah, okay, I got it. DeepSeek Coder. Wait, it's already loaded. So, where do I set up the server thing? Settings. Developer, right. Select the model to load. I want Hello, testing, testing. Cool. My interesting. My lav ran out of battery. Um. Let's see here. All right. Let me get back into what I was doing and see where Lovable is now on fixing this editor. Can already tell it's not working correctly because it's trying to load something that doesn't exist. Adventure. God. What a fucking wall. It's funny because I feel like I would be hitting this wall anyways right about now on the first day of Ludum Dare. So I am not. Oh, look at that. He created a whole bunch of these guys. And that's not what it needed to do. What did it do in the database versions? Man, it's still not paying attention to what I'm telling it to do. There's no version ID on any of these. Delete all these. Upvotes, version, adventure version has a title, context, content, version, is created by, forked from, created at, updated at, blah, blah, blah. Why is it choosing not to actually connect this stuff up? All right, if you're just tuning in, I am trying to get multiple AIs to write me code. But the real thing I'm trying to do is I'm trying to build a tool to create a text adventure game. And my idea is I wanted to do a tool that would use sort of Scratch like blocks that would let you build rooms, and then you can put stuff in the rooms and have this visual way of building out a text adventure game, and then having it then I could sit down and start making the rest of the game for Ludum Dare. But I've been stuck in this loop here for a while now where I can't get Lovable to actually build out the stuff I needed to correctly. And this is like a constant with this thing. I really want to love it, ironically enough, no pun intended. But it is like so bad. Add a unit test. Let me add unit test. I'm kind of curious what the unit test would do and how it renders the unit test. Let's start creating unit tests for adventure editor components to ensure functionality is preserved. That's the first time I've ever seen it pop up with doing unit tests. Now that could be useful. Failed to create a new adventure. Huh, what is it writing tests for? Well, how's everyone else's Saturday going? Let me just for about another 30 minutes, and I gotta take a break and then get to do my taxes, which is fun. And then I will come back afterwards after dinner and see how much further we can go, because now I'm falling behind. And really all I needed to do is I just needed to load the stupid editor correctly. Like, it does it fine here. I have the block editor working. I can now create my blocks. I have my public, my private blocks. But I need the adventures to work correctly, and it really is just continuing to fight me on this. Also, there's nothing sweet in the apartment, so I have nowhere to. I have nothing to make me happy at the moment. All right, this is writing a lot of unit tests. I've created comprehensive unit tests for adventure editor components, covering the word component tests for. The test setup includes Jest and React testing libraries with proper mocking for dependents like Superbase Router. I couldn't apply your changes because I tried to edit a file that I don't have permission to edit. Please rephrase your what the. You should have permission for it. I didn't do anything to it. Got excited there for a second. Kind of curious, like where is it running these unit tests? Is there now like a that addition is difficult to pinpoint the exact cause of the error. Could you share exactly this error occurs? Well, first off, hold on a second. Where did you make unit tests? I think it just lied and didn't make any of those unit tests. All right. All right. This is the issue. When a new adventure is created, it needs a definition. It needs a definition. Also, it needs to be able to spell definition correctly. And it also gets a new version. This should be adventure version table. And this is adventure definition. Then all the changes to the adventure are saved. Actually, all of the saved changes to the adventure go into a new version, and the base and the definition gets an updated reference to the latest version. All right, let's give this one more try before I lose my cool. I'm going to be creating new adventures in the adventure editor component. Let's look at how adventure creating is implemented in a fixed issue. With the current implementation, when a new adventure is created, adventure definition, the adventure table, and initial version, the definition should reference the latest version. Let me check the current implementation of the use inventor actions hook and fix any issues. All right. You do your thing. While that happens, I'm going to check my email. All right, is it finish this? All right, trying to find the. I moved, so I have to. Oh, there we go. Action required. I have to complete this move form. The amount of paperwork that I have to always fill out. Cool. Are we just not doing anything here? All right, adventures. Create an adventure. Create a new adventure. You failed. I hate you. You are so bad at this. I don't understand. Why is this so complicated? Holy shit. All right. You are still not doing this correctly. Why can't you do a simple thing like create a new adventure and use the right tables I told you to link together? Does the definition table need to be linked to the versions table somehow in Supabase? Can you look at the block implementation and copy that? It has its own definition table and uses its own version tables. The bigger problem is that this is so out of my depth. I am not a I really don't know much about the database stuff and all this, so I'm sort of at this thing's mercy. I'll just fill out this post office form. All right, let's read what it's actually doing. I understand frustration. Let's look at the existing block implementation. Looking at the code, I can see that the block implementation has a similar pattern with a block definition and a block version. The block definition table has a version ID field that references the latest version of the block version table. Let's look closer at how this is implemented in the existing code, particularly the block service and use block actions. From there, I can see that the block definition, when creating a block, blah, 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 when updating, I've fixed the implementation. Ensuring the use adventure action correctly creates adventures and versions with proper relationships. Add SQL functions to support the versioning system. Provide a migration script that fixes the adventure version table structure needed. This should now properly mirror the block implementation with. All right. You've said this 18 times now, and you've not been correct yet. Cool. You're still doing the same shit. What is going on? It says it knows what it's doing, but it doesn't do it. So what did you fix in here? All right, so you just copied the same thing, and you just did this. This is the change that I got. It told me that it did the exact same thing as before, but now it didn't change anything, and I actually had to pay for that credit. So frustrating. I'll have to go. I have to go get more credits refunded. Like I can't. I wonder if there's a way that I can rephrase this so that the let's see if we can do it this way. I want to start over. Sort of at an impasse here. Let me see here how this stuff works. It said something about the block actions. Unsave changes. Oh, I turned off LM Studio. Let me actually see if I can get let me see if I get this to analyze the code and tell me where I need to put things. Let's I want to start. Wait, no. I want to start a new task. Screw that other task. I hope it finished. Okay. Can you look at the? Whoops. Yeah. Okay. I got it. Can you look at the block creation logic that sets up a new block definition and saves the data to the block version, and explain to me how it works. All right, I haven't tried this with Klein before. Oh, yeah, please check the Elm Studio developer logs. Yeah. Okay, hold on a second. I need to go back and max this guy out. Here. Will 10,000 tokens do? And in the settings, it's local network. Perfect. Come on. Come on. All right, retry this task. Setting high variable. Trying to keep the first and second overflow, however the model is loaded. Whatever, max it out. I have a 3090 in there. Just give it all the RAM. Come on. Actually, I wonder how running the LM on the same computer that I'm running my capture from and how that affects things, but whatever. That's a problem for another day. Retry. All right, that at least got it to work. Ah, had to sneeze. At least I caught it in time. This is not fun. And this is slow. Way slow. Let's see. How can we redo this in a way that... Let's try to do it this way. I want to start over. Can you delete all the logic we have for creating new adventures. And all right, let's see if we can get it to just wipe all that. Let's see if, okay, here we go. The block creation logic in your application involves setting up a new block definition and saving the data to the blocks version. Here's how it works. Saving block data. Once the block definition is set up, you need to save this data somewhere so it can be used later. This could be in a database, depending on your application requirement. There might be a function called save blocks. That's why would there? Wait, did it just make up a whole bunch of shit? This is a high-level overview of how block creation logic works in general. The specific implementation details vary based on your. So, I don't understand. Like, why are you? I get in theory how all this works. I explained that to you. I want you to go through my code and look and see how it's actually doing it. All right, the block creation logic is in the main layout file, sets up a new block definition and saves it to the block version. Main layout. Can I click on this? Whatever, I'll just search for it. Main layout. The create new block definition, which doesn't exist. Like, why would this be in my main layout? This is so just like bad. All these tools are just utterly just bad. All right. Sounds like you'd like to remove the adventure creation logic. So I told you to remove it, and it's still all here. I can help you remove the current implementation starter. Would you like me to remove this? Guide you to create a new project. No, I don't want, I want, yeah, let's do one. Let's do one without breaking any of the other application logic and keeping the block editor intact. Let's see how this idiot's doing. Let's keep it miles. For best results, it's recommended to use Claude. Yeah, it doesn't really like it when I run this stuff locally, huh? It's amazing. It's calling methods that don't exist anywhere. Block field editor. I can just do this myself. Use block form. Block editor. Field label slice always text. Remove field. Update field. Drop target type. All right. Where does this file live? All right, I know what that's doing. Editor preview. Block basic config. Unsafe change handler. Simple Blockly workspace. Block version. I got to check on level to see if it's actually doing something. All right, I've removed the adventure creation logic while keeping the rest of the application changes. I'll be the judge of that. This works. Image creator has been temporarily disabled while we rebuild this feature. Brilliant. So why do I still get this other stuff? Why? Now remove logic for loading the restore. For loading the adventures, since we need to remove all of this code in order to start over. I'm just zoning out at this point. I'm gonna have to take a break soon anyways and get ready to do my taxes. So my accountant is actually not gonna be behind. I've removed all the adventure loading logic by simplifying the adventure data just to provide default state values without database fetching. Updated the adventure. All right. Did it actually delete all this stuff? Okay. Public trash, fine. Fine. New adventures currently unavailable. Great. All right. Community is blocks. I just want to make sure it hasn't like done anything stupid to the block editor. Public. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this table. I'm going to delete this table. And I'm going to delete this table. All right. I have removed the old tables, and now I want you to build new tables for for the adventure based on the same table structure we are using with the blocks. There needs to be a definitions table that has the ID, version ID, which is always linked to the latest version in the versions table, created, edited, forked from, is public, is deleted. Then in the versions table, let's start with just the basics. Let's start with the UID, which is referenced in the definitions table. Oh wait, I also want created by user ID. Um, last edited. Then let's start with the UID, which is reference for the definitions table. It needs a. Doesn't really need any of that other stuff. Let me go take a look at what I had here for the block versions. It has a block definition ID, a definition ID, title version, version number, title, description. All right, let's focus on this. If we can get the editor to just do this, and then then I can go in and I can start adding in the other stuff I need to for the other stuff that I need for oh god, brain's like totally out of it. Once I get this database stuff reconnected, then I can start looking into how to build the actual wiring for the forms. All right. Please use the SQL. The adventure definitions table that contains the user ID version and reference the latest. All right, in adventures version, I've also added two utility functions. The get next adventure version returns the next version. Promote adventure version sets a version as the latest and updates the definition. Row level security policies are added to ensure users can only view public adventures or their own adventures. Update. All right. I think the problem is, and this is a stupid mistake on my part, is that when I copied over the database and when I copied over everything, I didn't reconnect all this logic. And what I should have done is I should have had Lovable build it from the beginning, and that would have saved me a little bit of time. Okay. Database tables for Adventure have been successfully created. Now we need to update the code to work with these new tables. Let's implement the necessary code changes to integrate with the new Adventure database structure. I don't believe you, but let's look. Here is deleted, created it, forked from, perfect. And then the Adventure version has the UID, the title, the version is latest, created by, created at, update adventure definition ID, right, that's linked, description, and blocks XML. Perfect. All right, it's getting a little intuitive on itself. But I think this is what I was missing before. I must not have had this connection. So now, let's see if it can like tie this stuff back together. I am going to go get some water. And I will be right back in a minute. back. I'll do this for another 15 or so minutes, and then I'll come back later tonight after I have a little dinner. Let's see here. All right, we have an error, fine. I didn't see what it even did. God, it would be great if it actually... Oh, this is... Failed to load adventures. Fine. No adventures found. Can you go away? How do I close these toasts? They're so stupid. Just want to make sure nothing else here was broken. Oh, I love this. When this stuff actually works, this is great. And I've been trying to build this stuff. All right. Come on. All right. I fixed all three TypeScript errors by adding the is saving prop to the thing, renaming the XML prop to adventure XML and the adventure thing correctly. All right, let's take a look. Create an adventure, fine. Save. Let's refresh. Let's see if it did anything in the database. All right, it created two versions. It is saving it. It's just not restoring it correctly. All right. Let's have it refactor this, and then we can go through and... Oh, I see. The build was unsuccessful. All right. I think I'm going to call it here. Oh, wait, it just did something. Let's see if this actually did something. Refactored it. Refactored the organism makes the code easier to maintain. Test. We're so close. Let me have it refactor this too, and then once the refactoring is done, then we'll see if we can get this to do something that I want it to do. All right. Right, new adventure screen. Let's save this. We should see the versions. Yeah, this is what I wanted to do. Come on, you can do this. This is always my problem, is I always do something so ambitious, and sometimes I would be able to shoot the moon with Ludum Dare. But I think after almost 4 hours of streaming, I think I could take a break for a couple hours, and I'll come back and see what I want to do with this. Oh, cool. And then Lovable decides to also take a break. Refactor the adventure main component to multiple smaller components with clear responsibilities, making the code more maintainable. I don't believe you is the problem here. All right, let's do this. Let's go here. It doesn't let me create one. So we create a new one. It's giving me lots of failed errors here. New test. We'll save it. Adventure saved successfully. What's in the database? The new definition and a new version called new test. And then somehow it did this multiple times, but okay. It's closer. All right. I am getting failed to load adventure errors. We failed to load adventure errors. And, but I can see there are adventures in the database. All right, I'm going to stop it here. I'll keep messing around with this, and I'll try to be on back later tonight, or I might just take a break for the rest of the day and just start again with it tomorrow. So I'll see you guys later. Thanks.